So in today's class we'll be getting a look into how a particular organization works. Okay, so for that particular purpose the first motto is to find how the organization design works, means how a particular organization is being formulated and how it basically works we'll learn in this class. So to start off with, what is it? It specifically the organization design refers to defining and designing and restructuring of an organizational structure. So many of you can ask, what is an organizational structure? So what is an organizational structure? Every company has a combination of employees from different designation and levels. The source of knowing that level of organization is known as organizational structure. So basically, if you look into a particular organization, there are three levels of employees in a particular organization. So what are the three levels? First is the managerial, second is the executive, and the third one is the labor class. So basically each organization is divided into three levels of employees. These three are the levels of employees that are relevant to every organization. Okay, so so what is this particular organizational design? What is the aim of this organization design? It aims at finding any type of defective or dysfunctional elements. If you see the second point of this particular slide, it aims at finding any type of defective or dysfunctional elements that are related to an organization's system, organization structure, process and work culture. So identification, what it will help? It will help to identify the particular flaw of a particular organization. So if a particular organization is not able to produce the expected productivity in terms of whatever the productivity it is giving, it may be a economic productivity, it may be the product productivity, it may be anything. So based on that, if the productivity is not efficient as per the aim of what is the productive area concerned, so accordingly you can find out the flaw and can rectify that particular part of it, so that the organization behaves in the specific manner you want to behave it, you want to make it behave like. Okay, so this is the very basics of the organization structure, as I was telling you. So if you look, next is the organogram. So what is on a organogram? It is, if you can see, it is the organizational structure that represent organizations in an immovable or static form that can be presented through a diagram properly known as organogram. So what is an organogram? It is a basically, you can say, the organization structure itself, where one means one level of employee will work under another level of employee, so they will be directed by another level of employee. In this way, the flow chart of the organization, you can tell it is an organogram. Okay, so basically it is the hierarchy in which the organization works, means whose command is followed by whose command, and accordingly the particular organization behaves in that specific manner. So if you see, this is a typical example of organogram. So here you can see the general manager. This is a typical example. It is not like that every organization behaves in this specific manner itself. This is just the sample example of the organogram. So the general manager is the very means is the topmost head, you can say, of the organization. Under him will work the finance department and the human resource department. So under this finance department and human resource department, you can see there are three specific areas which are operating as per their rules and regulations. There will be three specific areas which will be looked into the organization. So one is the research and development, next is operations, and the next one is product marketing. So under those specific sub parts of this particular organization, there will be certain marketing heads. Suppose in product marketing there may be some persons involved in the marketing department, which will involve the advertisement agencies and all those things, so they will come under product marketing. Suppose there may be other categories of persons who will be involved in the product marketing as well, this will come under product marketing. So the broad area will be working under this product marketing. So the persons will be working under product marketing will report to the product marketing head, and accordingly he will fix the things, and accordingly he will organize all the things that are involved in the product marketing department. Next is you can see the operations. Suppose the your the in the operations department, you can say the particular the network things, this will be coming under the operations part. So the network development, all those things will be coming under the operations part. The persons who are involved in the operations part will directly report the operational head, and accordingly he will manage all the things, and he will direct that whether you need to involve yourself into this, you need to improve on this or not. This will be taken care by the operations head. Next is you can see the research and development. So in each and every company there is research and development that is involved into that particular company for the productivity enhancement. You can say that what are the areas we need to research and develop our skills to get it to get the maximum output from that particular aspect of the things, will be coming under that research and development part. So these three will form the three heads of the department, you can say respective heads of the department, and they will involve their respective employees which are involved in that particular department, and they will see the ultimate productivity of these three parts, and they will report to the finance and the human resource, and the human and finance and human resource will report to the general manager. Thus we are getting this type of productivity based on these outcomes what we have already generated. So you can see the organization design represents the dynamic view of any organization. So basically, as I've told you, it represents the flow chart or the hierarchy in which the instruction needs to be followed. Okay, so it is more of processes and methods which help in organizational structuring and restructuring for smooth and effective functioning. So of course, once you make this hierarchy, and accordingly if you just follow this flow chart, you can get the best structuring and best productivity based on this particular aspect. Next is it is also based on change management, whereby the organizational demands change their structure and functioning to meet needs for technological advancements. So it is not like that if you make a flow chart and you aim a certain parts of the particular organization, so those parts won't be steady with the time. As the time is flowing, so the demand of the productivity in the market changes. Suppose in the lockdown period while corona was there, so at that time the productivity needs was certainly not as it is in this point of time, right? So basically, with the change of time, certain changes in productivity are expected from the company. Generally, with the change of time, the productivity should increase for any company. So it is not a steady thing that each time, suppose in the month of January you are requiring this productivity, in the month of December also you need that productivity. It may change with the involve of time, right? So basically, suppose a company is producing winter clothes, so the productivity of that particular company is not same for all the months. For in the winter months it is certainly high than the summer months, right? So this is the very basic. So if you maintain this hierarchy, you can easily restructure the organization as per the requirement of your productivity. So with the help of this, the last point, if you see, with the help of this organizational design, weaker systems of an organization can be identified and corrective steps can be taken to strengthen them. Of course, if you maintain this hierarchy, you can see which part of the organization is dysfunctional or is not producing that much effectiveness what is expected out of it. So if you just look into the particular flow chart, that this is the for step 1, this is the expected productivity, we are getting this productivity. Step 2, this is the expected one, we are the output what we are getting is this. So if you just maintain this flow chart, you will be easily able to identify which part of the organization is not working up to the mark, and easily you can identify them and you can take the corrective measures in order to make it up to the mark. So what are the types of organization design and structure? Organization can be of two types. The organization structure, it may be a formal or an informal one. So what is a formal organization structure? The formal organizational structure includes a well-defined structure of jobs that declares authority, functions and responsibility in an organization. So it is basically a from the name itself you can understand this is a formal one. So each of the persons involved in that particular organization or authority have their defined work. It is like they are assigned with a particular job, they should make the most out of that. So each and every individual has their specific jobs. That is for a formal organizational structure. But an informal organization, informal organizational structure, it is like that nobody is expected with a certain amount of job. If a person is able to produce more productivity, he is certainly told to look into other aspects or the other departments, so that the productivity of those departments which is not up to the mark can be just increased to a certain extent, so that the net profit of the organization can be extracted through it. So this is the difference, remember, from a formal organization structure to an informal organization structure. In an informal one, nobody, everyone is of course assigned with a specific job, but beyond it, if there is a person who is very much is involved into that organization, he is told to involve himself into other aspects than his formal job what he is given or assigned with, so that the productivity of the other departments which is not up to the mark can be reached to that mark which is expected. But in a formal one, everybody has their, every employee has their, have their own and individual jobs which they are assigned with, and they are told to mark their particular jobs and do those specific jobs accordingly. So in the second point you can see plans, processes and policies are already defined in these types of organization, and the team needs to follow and perform their tasks based on this, as I have already told you. So the plans and processes, these are well defined beforehand, these are well defined, and accordingly the individuals are being told to perform their own responsibilities and tasks. Next is it aims, its main aim, its main focus is on jobs and functions rather than the employees. So this is the thing. So the main focus is on the jobs and functions rather than the employees. Rather than the employees means, as I have told you, in informal, the productivity of each and every employee is being taken into account, and accordingly they are told to give their output to other departments as well. But here the net output generated by a particular department is being looked upon. If the department is able to produce that particular outcome which is expected out of them, then that department has done its job. It is basically, this is the fundamental in which the formal organization structure works. Next is it demands the intervention of different departments, which is based on grouping of subtasks of common jobs. So this is the very basics of all the things. Next is, for example, this is an odd example, organization have different departments based on their functioning. So as I have told you, based on the functioning, the organizations have different departments like production, marketing, purchase, etc. So the organization, these particular departments has their own responsibilities, and accordingly they perform their own responsibilities. Next is delegation of work is from top to the bottom level, which means the supervisors assign work to the subordinate. That means the supervisors who is assigned with the work will give his order to the subordinates who are working under him. So basically those persons will, if there are certain employees who are working below them also, they will be again delegating the work to the employees that are working under their command. In this way the complete organization works. That is, each of the employees are assigned with their job, they give to the next tier of employees who are working under them, they perform the duties, they report to the higher authority. The authority who is taking the account of these jobs will report to the next higher authority. In this way the complete organization works. So you can see the last point, supervisors are responsible for the coordination of activities and the subordinates as well as their performance. So the supervisors who are looking into a particular field will be responsible, will be liable to effective production as well as ineffective production. They are the ones who will be questioned. It is not like that. Suppose the topmost post is suppose the managerial director, he will come and he will show the subordinate. It is not like that. He will be concerned about the supervisors. He will talk to the supervisors that why you are not getting this particular production that is expected. So it is the liability will come to the supervisors if the functioning is not right. The subordinates will report to the supervisors, but ultimately the supervisors will be liable for any production non-production that is occurring. Next is informal organization. So in informal organizations, I have already told you what is informal organization. So in informal organizations, the focus is more on humans or employees as compared to the respective jobs. So it tries to bring out the best in informal. There is a particular advantage of informal organizations, that in a particular organization it is not like every employee is super active or the activity of each of the employees is the same. It is not like that. So in the informal organization, it tries to extract the most out of each and every employees. So this is an advantage that the informal organizations have, but this is another disadvantage it also has, is that the non-productive persons who are not producing that much of productivity, somewhat they are free, they are set free. So this is another in terms of the means negative aspect of the organization. This is one negative aspect. It may be a positive aspect for the employees, but it is not a positive aspect for your organization, because the more the particular section of the employees can take the burden, they are given more burden for the work, and the persons who are not so much productive, you can say, they are set free. So this is one advantage as well as disadvantage too. So in this you can see the humans and employees formally interact with each other to share their ideas, thought, beliefs and hobbies, etc. There is no formal structure of this type of organizations, and there is no existence of superior or subordinate relationship. So in this particular organization, there is no supervisor who is assigning jobs to the other employees. All are interacting with each other. They are finding their specific works and they are working accordingly. Next is, you can see what are the types of formal organizational design and structure. So in the types are line organization structure and design, functional organization structure and design, lines and staff organization structure and design, divisional organization, project based organizations, matrix organizations and hybrid organization. So one by one, first is the line organization structure and design. Line organizations, you can see, follow line or chain of command and demonstrate relationship at different levels in vertical format. So as the formal organization example we was talking about in our previous slide, so you can see that research and development will give the order to this particular section of the employees. They will report to the research and development. The research and development team will report to the finance and resource development team, and these two will report to the general manager. So it basically works in a vertical manner. It comes down like this and it goes up like this. Means the order is being shared from the general manager to the finance department and the human resource. It is coming down in the vertical way. The finance and the human resource team is giving the orders to these three, that is research and development team, operations team and product marketing team. So again, these individual three teams are giving orders to the three section of the employees that are working under them. So you can see it is working downwards in this way. The comments are working downwards in this way, and then after the execution of the work, this particular sector will report to the research and development team. This particular sector will report to the operations team, and this particular team is going to report to the product marketing team. And as these three are the heads of the three individual teams, they will report to the finance and human resource team, and this finance and human resource team will report to the general manager. So through the comments it is coming down, and it because of the reporting it is going up like this. So it works in a particle manner. So the authority comes from top to bottom, and there is no specialization existing in this. So this is the flowchart in a line organization. The top management, beyond it will come the sales and market. This is another example of line organization. It is not like that each and every company will follow this pattern only. So top management is there. Below it will work the sales and marketing team. Below it will work the mechanical team. And below the sales and marketing will come, suppose, the north and south zone, the east and west zone, and below the mechanical department it will come the designing and assembling, these things. So basically it goes from the top level to the bottom level for the command, and for the reporting it will go from bottom to the top level. So what are the pros and cons? First, the pros of this line organization system is that simple command method and clear chain of commands. The chain of commands is very clear. All of the persons know whose particular command they need to follow for the execution of the job. Next is better control on the activities. You can easily identify the particular sector of the, suppose it is seen that the east and west zone is not able to do proper sales, so you can catch the east and west zone without disturbing the other aspects of the company. You can catch them and tell what is the problem, why it is not being able to produce the maximum output, and accordingly you can rectify the system as per the need without disrupting the whole system. So next is the next pro is clear responsibility and flexible in approach. So each one of the employees have the clear responsibility based on their supervisors' words. They have the clear responsibilities. What are the cons? There is a lack of specialized function in this particular flow chart, you can see. Next is lack of inputs from lower staff and ineffective communication. Suppose there are many employees who are not much educated, or who don't have much oratory skills. So there is a lack of communication in that particular bottommost you can say the bottommost level. There is ineffective communication there. They won't be able to communicate their needs, their particular flaws, their what is their requirement, why they are not able to produce that expected output, what are the things they won't be able to communicate, because if they don't have much oratory skill, in that way it is if there is ineffective communication, it may be a hindrance to the overall productivity of the company. Next is misuse of authority by superiors. Means the supervisors who are working who are directing their employees working beyond them, they may take the misuse advantage of the commands. They may tell their particular employees who are working under them that if you don't do this, I will report to the higher authority. But if you do this, my personal thing, otherwise I will do this to you or do that to you. So these are the things that are being misused by the authorities. Next, you can see functional organization structure and design. This is another type of organization structure, or you can say formal organizational structure. In this type of organizations, different tasks and activities are distributed to different functions and departments, that is sales, marketing, finance, production, purchase, HR, IT, etc. So these departments have their own staff to perform duties and hence perform different roles. So this particular structure is based on the function of each and every layer of the organization, you can say. In this type of, the third point you can see, in this type of organizations there are two authorities of jobs or two roles exist, that is line and staff function. Okay, so basically the function of each of the particular employees are taken into account in this particular aspect. Next is line authority. So what is line authority? It is similar to direct chain of command or of supervision, and instructions are given by the supervisors to subordinates in a vertical chain. So this is similar to the previous one what we are talking about. Okay, Next is, however, staff authority gives power to the specialist to support and increase work efficiency of staff members of line authority with their expertise areas. So the staff of authority gives power to the specialized to support and increase the work efficiency. Next is, the line managers have direct authority over staffs. Staffs or functional authority has direct authority over the line staff members in certain but narrow specialized works. Next is line and organizational structure and design. This is mostly relevant in big organizations. So the vertical but direct relation exists at different levels in this type of organizations, where the specialized staff has the responsibility to advise the line managers and assist them wherever required. So this is the very basics in which the line and staff organizational structure and design works. Next is, both the departments, that is their line and staff, exist in such organizations. The specialized staff is present for assisting or advising and has direct control over the line staff. Next is the divisional organizations. In divisional organization structure, it is present in large organizations where more than one product based company, where it is the company is produced more than one type of product. This is relevant in that particular organization. So what is done in this particular organization, there are separate teams who look into different products. Okay, different products the company is producing, there are separate teams who look into that. In this, the different functions of organizations are grouped on the basis of geographic areas, products, projects, or in a combination. So each division has its own function and resources like manpower and others for products or the geographic area to which it belongs. So for example, in the geographic division, all activities are combined based on particular geographic areas like the east or the west, or international locations like Middle East, etc. So it is based on the particular division or the geographic condition on which the company is based, on which the company is making the particular product. It is based on that. So that this division exists in organizations that work in more than one territory or geographic area. Of course, as I've told you, this particular organization structure works in different geographic areas, and based on that, the various strategies are being taken so that you can get the most productivity out of this particular organizational structure. So this is the very basics of the things we have covered, and there are few which you have just, these are not so relevant. Like in hybrid organization, it is a combination of many organizational designs. It is not so relevant. Matrix is also a particular set of pupil work under particular set of pupil. This is the matrix method. It is more or less similar to your line organization structure also only. And in project based organizations, the manpower which is being involved in a particular project is based on the particular project. There are many projects. If there are many projects running in a particular organization, so based on the particular project, the manpower is being involved in that project, and accordingly the output is being extracted. So I think it is clear so far. If you have any doubt, you are free to question me. So this is where we conclude. In the next thing, we will start off with another topic. Thank you.